The most powerful brand is sometimes no brand at all. For a century, companies have spent trillions of dollars on logos, mascots, jingles, and celebrity endorsements, all to win a small space in your mind. What if the smartest strategy today is to throw all of that away? Some of the most disruptive products of the last decade don't have a flashy name. They just say what they are. Coffee, toilet paper, peanut butter. This isn't an accident. It is the calculated and powerful strategy of debranding. Walk down any aisle in any supermarket. You are immediately hit by a sensory assault of branding. Bright colors, bold logos, and smiling mascots, all screaming for your attention. Coca-Cola, Procter & Gamble, Kellogg's. This is the traditional playbook. Build a powerful emotional connection to a product through relentless marketing. But a quiet revolution is taking place on the shelves. A new movement is doing the exact opposite. They use plain, minimalist packaging. Simple, descriptive names. No logos. No hype. They are systematically stripping the brand away from the product. In a world completely saturated with marketing, how is no brand a winning brand strategy? How does generic packaging build a fiercely loyal following? And what is the powerful psychological shift that makes a simple white box more appealing to a modern consumer than a colorful, celebrity-endorsed one? That's the question we're answering today. To understand why debranding works, we first have to understand the true cost of a traditional brand. A brand is, at its core, a mental shortcut. It's a promise of quality and consistency. When you buy a can of Coca-Cola, you know exactly what you're going to get, whether you're in New York or New Delhi. That reliability is valuable. But that value comes at a cost. A very high cost. Companies spend billions of dollars a year on the things that build and maintain a brand. Global advertising campaigns, Super Bowl commercials, celebrity endorsements, and elaborate packaging design. Point one, this cost is then baked into the price of the product you buy. This hidden cost is known as the brand tax. You aren't just paying for the corn flakes in the box, you're paying a portion of the massive marketing budget that convinced you to buy them. For a long time, consumers accepted this tax as the price of quality. But a new generation of consumers is far more skeptical. They have the internet. They trust peer reviews more than TV commercials. They see a flashy package and they don't see a promise of quality. They see the money they are being asked to waste. This skepticism created a massive opening in the market for a new kind of product, one that rejected the brand tax entirely. Debranding is not one single tactic. It's a spectrum of strategies that all reject traditional branding in favor of simplicity and value. Example 1. The rise of the premium store brand. For decades, generic products were the definition of low quality. They came in stark black and white packaging and were seen as the cheap, undesirable option. But companies like Costco and Trader Joe's completely changed the game. Brands like Costco's Kirkland Signature and the full range of Trader Joe's products are store brands, but they are famous for their high quality, often being manufactured by the same companies that produce the major name brands. Their power comes from the trust customers have in the store itself. The store is the brand. Therefore, the individual products on the shelf don't need a brand of their own. Their packaging is simple and descriptive. They don't advertise. Their quality speaks for itself, and their lower price comes from the elimination of the brand tax. Example 2. Muji, the philosophical no brand. The Japanese retailer Muji takes this concept to a philosophical extreme. Point 2. Their name, Mujirushi Raihin, literally translates to no brand quality goods. 3. Muji sells everything from stationery to furniture, all with minimal packaging, neutral colors, and a complete absence of logos. Point 4. Their brand is built on a philosophy of simplicity, functionality, and a quiet rejection of consumerism. The lack of a logo is their logo. It signals a calm confidence in the product's inherent quality and design. You are not buying a status symbol, you are buying a well-made object. This anti-brand stance has earned them a cult-like global following. Example 3. Brandless, the purest debrand. Perhaps the purest expression of this strategy was the online retailer Brandless, which launched in 2017 to massive hype. Point 5. Their concept was radical. Every single product they sold, from organic olive oil to toilet paper, cost just $3. The packaging was a masterclass in minimalism. Each item came in a simple box or jar, with the product's name and key attributes printed in a plain, black font. Organic peanut butter. Gluten-free pancake mix. Their message was explicit and aggressive. We have stripped away the brand tax, and we are passing the savings on to you. They turned the traditional brand into the villain of the story. So we know what debranding looks like. But why is it so appealing to our modern brains? First, it solves the paradox of choice. A traditional supermarket might offer you 30 different brands of pasta sauce. This level of choice can be mentally exhausting and lead to decision fatigue. A debranded product cuts through the noise. It presents itself as the simple, straightforward, logical option. Second, it signals transparency and honesty. In a world of over-the-top marketing claims and hidden ingredients, a plain, simple package feels honest. It creates the perception that the company is investing its money in the quality of the product inside the box, rather than on a marketing campaign to trick you into buying it. The lack of branding becomes a powerful signal of authenticity. Finally, it has a distinct aesthetic appeal. The minimalist, clean aesthetic of Muji and Brandless is seen as sophisticated and modern. 6. It's a form of in-the-know status. Owning these products signals that you are a savvy consumer who values substance over style, and that you are smart enough to see through the tricks of traditional marketing. Let's connect the dots. The traditional brand is a promise of quality that comes with a hidden cost, the brand tax. A new generation of skeptical consumers began to reject this tax, opening the door for a revolution. This revolution took many forms, from high-quality store brands like Kirkland Signature, to philosophical no-brands like Muji, to the radical simplicity of Brandless. These strategies are psychologically powerful because they simplify choice in a complex world, they signal honesty and transparency, and they appeal to a modern, minimalist aesthetic. And that is the secret. The strategy of debranding is not actually the absence of a brand. It is a highly sophisticated and calculated alternative form of branding. The brand is no longer communicated through a logo or a mascot. The brand is communicated through the minimalist design, the simple name, and the lower price. The brand promise is simplicity. The brand promise is transparency. The brand promise is value. They have brilliantly turned the conventions of traditional marketing into the enemy and positioned themselves as the hero. No brand is their brand. If this strategy is helping you see packaging in a new way, you can send us a signal by hitting that like button and subscribing. The brilliance of the debranding strategy is that it turns a company's biggest traditional expense, marketing and advertising, into its most powerful asset. By not spending money on advertising, they can offer lower prices. That lower price then becomes the most powerful marketing message of all, reinforcing their brand promise of value and honesty. The business model itself becomes the marketing campaign. The broader business principle here is a masterclass in the power of counterpositioning. Often, the most effective competitive strategies don't try to be a better version of the market leader, they try to be the complete opposite. While the rest of the world was shouting, they chose to whisper. While brands like Coca-Cola were spending billions on emotional, story-driven advertising, debranded products position themselves as the rational, logical, anti-advertisement alternative. The powerful lesson is that in a crowded and noisy market, sometimes the best way to stand out is to be the quietest one in the room. If you learn something new, hit the like button and subscribe for more strategy breakdowns. And let us know in the comments, what company's strategy should we unlock next?